All right, welcome to Talking Investing. I am Tom, and as always, this is not financial advice. Today, I want to do a Bitcoin and Bitcoin miner update. This is going to be a weekend edition. A lot is going on with Bitcoin, and a lot's gone on so far this year with the Bitcoin miners. So I want to talk about the trends that have already happened with the Bitcoin miners, and then I want to take a look at the Bitcoin charts and see where we may be going from here. So we talk about Bitcoin and the miners all the time on this channel. If that is content you're interested in, or if you are new to the channel, please remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Also, if everybody could please smash the like button. Lastly, you can support the channel by hitting the join button on the YouTube page, and you can become a member of the channel. Members get some members-only content. We do a once-a-week members-only live stream where the members pick a company for me to do a deep dive video on. We also have a members-only Discord, so we have a lot of fun in the membership. You're welcome to join us. Okay, so I'm going to start on the week-over-week comparisons. We ranged all the way from up 36% with Core Scientific to down 39% with TeraWulf. So some specific things happened with TeraWulf, and then we had everything in between. You'll see in the middle in gold, there's a gold bar there. That is Bitcoin. Bitcoin was up 1% for the week, so it was a very flat week for Bitcoin, yet some of the Bitcoin miners ran up and others ran down. And this is what I'm saying. On any given week, it just depends where they are in their own cycle. So Cypher had a big week. They had a good monthly operational report, and they really ran up on that. CleanSpark had a good week, up 20%. Now, CleanSpark's been one of the ones that is lagging behind overall. So I've been saying keep your eye on CleanSpark because I feel like they had some catching up to do. So this week, they actually outperformed and had a good week. But later, you're going to see they still haven't caught up to their peers. Some of the larger ones that had a tough week, Bitfarms was actually down 4% on the week, and then Marathon, which is the second biggest market cap overall, was down 12%. So Riot, which is the largest market cap of all, was up 8%. So you can see if you looked at just this one week, you would think, wow, Riot's doing way better than Marathon. But if you looked at the same thing last week, the opposite was true. So again, on any one week isn't something to make a decision off of unless there is new news that changes the story or the direction of your company. So here's what the Bitcoin miners have done year to date in basically a month in 2023. You've got DigiHost up 400%. You've got Core Scientific up 337%. So I want to talk about those two in specific. One of the things that happens is a lot of these Bitcoin miners have gotten down to nano cap market cap size. So when you're a $10 million market cap, especially when you're a company that used to be $100 or $200 million market cap, when you get all the way down to 10 million, it starts to be pretty easy to pull a 3x or a 4x if you get some good news, because all you're doing is going from 10 million to 20 million. Well, you used to be maybe 150 or 200 million. So you can see where these moves can get exaggerated. And this is why I think it's important to stick with a stock if you believe in it. If you have conviction in the company, these are the runs that are possible for these Bitcoin miners. Last year, we talked a lot about potential upside, and unfortunately, it was a very frustrating year, mostly all year last year. Well, this year, we're seeing some of these gigantic moves. I mean, DigiHost is up 400% in 1 month, and that's off of its highs from the month. Core Scientific's up 337%, and that's off of its highs for the month. Cypher is one of the medium-sized market caps. It is actually up 229%. So even some of the medium to larger market caps can have big moves in short period of time. Cypher is now the third largest market cap company out of all the Bitcoin mining companies. Bree was up just under 200%, and then you can see a lot of other Bitcoin miners are up over 100% just so far in this 1 month of 2023. Riot's up 102%, Marathon's up 107%, so even the two largest market cap Bitcoin miners are still up over 100% this year. Now, we'll see where they go from here. None of this stuff goes anywhere in a straight line, so that's the other thing to be careful of. It seems like the vast majority of these companies are having a very good year, and I think some of them that are lagging will start to pick up, like we saw with CleanSpark this week. That had been one of the laggers all year this year, but this week it had one of the best weeks. So you'll see CleanSpark year to date's up 72%. Now that sounds outstanding, and it is. It's still behind the vast majority of its peers. It's not even a 2x off of Bitcoin, and these should be, in my opinion, 3x leverage plays. And you can see a lot of them are playing out that way, 3x, 4x leverage. Some of these are 10x leverage in the very short term. So these are some gigantic runs up, but I want to show you this from another perspective because I think there's an awful lot of room left to the upside, despite the fact that this is a very green board right here. Okay, so this is looking at it from another perspective. On August 15th of 2022, Bitcoin hit $25,000. Bitcoin's right now trading between $23,000 and $24,000. So you can see with most of these companies, DigiHost is in the green. That is the only company that's in the green versus where it was the last time Bitcoin was at $25,000. Obviously, Bitcoin itself is still 7% off of that. So just to pick out some of the big companies, Riot, the largest market cap, that's still down 35% lower than it was the last time Bitcoin was trading in this neighborhood. So again, I think as Bitcoin runs up from, we're between 23 and 24 right now, I think by the time it gets to 25, we should see these numbers catch up to Bitcoin, in my opinion. Now, that won't be for every single Bitcoin miner across the board. Obviously, you got to know your stocks, and some of these stocks are going to do better than others. Some of these are going to succeed. Some of these are going to fail. So, please do your own due diligence. But if you have a stock that you have a high level of conviction in, Riot is one that I do. I think they have room left to run because they're still lagging way behind Bitcoin. And that's really in about a 6-month period now. But you can see it gets much worse than that. CleanSpark's down 49%. Marathon's down 63%. Now, some of these companies down here have had fundamental change in the nature of their business. So be careful with a lot of these. Iris Energy, Argo Blockchain, Greece, Stronghold, and Core Scientific have all had some fairly significant changes to the way that they conduct business since last August. So there may be some other reasons for some of these that are way here on the downside. But Marathon really has not, in my opinion, had any fundamental change. Bitfarms, which is down 55%, hasn't really had a fundamental change in the way they do business. So, you can see, whereas the last board was extremely green and it feels like maybe we're a little overheated, you can see there's actually still a lot of room to the upside. And that's just to get back to where these miners were when Bitcoin was at 25,000. This is nowhere near their all-time highs or even their 52-week highs. Even if all these got back to zero, this would still leave them down maybe 75% from their highs from 2021. Okay, so this is Bitcoin on a 15-minute time frame. As always, there's an orange line where Bitcoin was when the equity markets last closed in the US. So that would have been Friday. So Bitcoin was at around $23,335. I have a line here at around $23,250. So just under 23,300 has been a very strong line of support recently. This is a line I was hoping to hold. I am hoping that the last leg of this rally takes us up to 25,000. I still think that's entirely possible, although at this point it's looking a little bit shaky. But what we wanted to do, I had two objectives for this weekend. One is to see if we could hold this line at 23,300. So you can see for most of the weekend, we tested this. It held here on Friday night. In the middle of the day on Sunday, this did break below, and you can see in one candle, once we went below, we have not been back above it since. So I did say that I do think if we went below this line on a 4-hour candle close, then we were probably heading down towards this purple line at 22,431. So if we look at this on the 4-hour time frame, you're going to see we did close a 4-hour candle below this line of support, this green line of support at around 23,300. We have had another full candle that basically opened and closed beneath that, and now we're in another 4-hour candle that's just begun. So that's starting to be some confirmation that that line did not hold in the short term, and it looks like we're heading down towards what I think is a very important line of support. This purple line at 22,400. Since we went above that back on January 20th, we've tested this several times along the way. We got very close to this back on January 30th, but didn't quite touch. And it's been an upward channel since then. So you can see these two blue light lines. This is a slight upward channel we've been in. It's not extremely strong support, so I'm not so worried that we're trading outside of this channel. But what I do think is more important is that we hold above this line of support, the purple line, at about $22,400. So we're at about $22,880 right now. So far, that's as low as we've gotten this weekend, but it has been creeping lower for most of the last half of the weekend. This is the fourth red candle in a row. We have not had 4 red candles in a row in quite a while. The last time we had that, I put a square around them here. This was the last week of November. All of December 22 and January 23, we did not have a single stretch there where there was 4 red candles in a row. This is the first one. So we have been overheated. If you've watched the channel, I've been talking about the fact that the technicals have been very, very overheated. We look very overbought, and we needed a pause or a pullback. It doesn't have to be a catastrophic pause or pullback. This is 4 red candles in a row, but we're still way above this line of support here. So if we can somehow hold this line of support and maybe bounce off of this, I think we could have our run up to 25,000. That may take a few days before that starts to happen. So we'll see. The next couple of days are going to be important. Do we hold this line? If not, then I do think we can go down and test this line at around 21,500. If we go down and bounce off of that line and that holds as support, then we're still hitting higher lows and higher highs. And that's the first time that we've done this since October of 2021. So this is a potential trend reversal. What I don't want to do is take out this number right here, which is at around 20,200 or 20,300. If we go below that, if we go below 20,000, then potentially we're starting to set a lower low than we did, about a month ago. So that would be a very bearish signal. I'm hoping not to see that. I'm hoping we don't even need to go test this blue line. We did fail on the line at 23,200. That was the green line, but the purple line is still holding at 22,400. I'm hopeful that holds. You'll see we have broken out of this short-term channel, but again, this was a very small short-term channel, so this was weak levels of support and resistance. It did hold up nicely for a couple of weeks, but we've broken out to the downside. So my most important takeaway, and it's Sunday afternoon, so we still have almost a full day before the equities start trading again tomorrow. It looks like we're deep into a red candle today, so it's highly likely today is going to close as a red candle, and then we're going to have to see what tomorrow does. Is tomorrow going to be another red candle? And if it is, can it stay above this line of support at around 22,400? If it can, and we can bounce off of there, like I said, it's very rare for us to have 4 red candles in a row. In November of 2022, it happened 3 or 4 times, and that is because the FTX situation happened early November. We had a big move to the downside, and we had several moves down. So we can have longer streaks than that, but for as long as the momentum is still right now, in general, this is still bullish momentum. This little 4-day streak of red candles is not enough to convince me that we've reversed the trend, but obviously with each passing day, these lines of support get more and more important. I'm not going to look at any of the technical analysis. All the technical analysis is very, very sideways right now. To me, it's very ambiguous. So I think we want to hold the line. We would like to stay above Bitcoin 22,400. Once again, the Bitcoin miners have really been on a run in the year 2023, but as we saw, there's a long way left to go for them to get anywhere near even their highs from last August when Bitcoin was just at $25,000. So lots of room left to the upside if the bullish momentum in Bitcoin can continue. So that's what I'm looking at right now. That I think brings you up to date for the weekend. So I hope everybody's enjoying your weekend. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.